Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Thursday stream. Whereas Bitcoin is trading at the definition of flatness, Bitcoin right now is just on a 0% move on the daily candle. After a pump on the Asian session that was basically fully retraced after the New York session open, we can see here on the 1 hour time frame. Just as soon as the New York Stock Exchange started trading, we retraced the whole move that happened overnight. So a lot of selling today from the boomers, from the traditional market. Maybe some ETF outflows, if I had to guess. But yeah, we're just the daily right now is trying to fight to have a green candle close, but it doesn't look too good having this whole selling, but basically this whole buying absorption that happened today while we pushed into 66,400 bucks or so. It just fully retraced it on the TradFi session. But what it's if you look at it on the bright side, you're still above 64,900 bucks, which is a very real level from history. You can see here the first all-time high from May 2021. Here was the Pika top from the first top on the prior cycle. It's being regarded as support right now. We have had 3 stops down below and we bounced out of it. And also, if we were to look at a single candle formation, this could turn into a dragonfly doji candle here, just a very limited body, just basically a no body candle with a lot of wick to the upside. So we'll know in about half an hour. We'll come back to this and see how it closed, but that's on the bright side. If I were to look at things on a little bit more neutral, maybe aspect, we said that once you had this drop out of the P cycle top indicator, lower EMA, you would need a bearish retest to it in order to confirm maybe a trend change on a macro time frame. And this could also be considered maybe a bearish retest, although we didn't touch the EMA yet. But we'll see. I think tomorrow is going to be really interesting to see the follow through of this candle here, because it's looking maybe like a bottoming candle. If you looked at it in burst, could be yeah, could be somewhat of a top, but it could be like a gravestone doji if you look at it inverted. But if you look it to the downside, it could turn into a dragonfly doji, which is a single candle pattern reversal possibility. It's just going to depend on how it closes, because it needs to have basically no body at all, and it's currently trading that way. So if price closes like this in 30 more minutes, then you had that dragonfly doji above a critical level here, above 64,900 bucks. But yeah, you do have this somewhat of a bearish retest to the P cycle top indicator. So I'm going to be really careful moving forward. If we don't have any follow through out of this candle tomorrow, I think I'm going to start to de-risk a little bit. And yeah, it's just how the market is. If we reclaim this EMA and we reclaim 66,600 bucks or whatever, I'm going to be more than happy to reposition myself and go for a breakout. But if you just lost this EMA, which has been support for a long time now, and it's basically the blueprint from the 2017 cycle, I don't like this kind of price action. It reminds me a little bit of what happened in July 2019. So if we don't reclaim this soon and having this somewhat of a bearish formal back test to it, starts to give me somewhat of a vibe of a echo bubble territory here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I've been repeating this for a long time by now, but once you lost the orange EMA here on the P side on the 2019 run here, this blow off top, once you lost it and were not able to reclaim it, and you even back tested it here, you just had a big down mark to the downside. You had like a complete change of tide and a big reversion on this whole impulse up. So that's what I'm very wary about. I'm gonna make up my mind within the next couple of days. I'll see if this gravestone doji, this dragonfly doji that we're printing today, it has any follow through tomorrow. And also for the people that believe in this kind of things, tomorrow we're going to have a full moon and a summer solstice. You'll see that the moon has been pretty indicative later on how the prices have gone for the past 100 days. You see that we had this new moon in June 6th, and we just fully reversed from there. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not any ETA. Please don't unsubscribe after hearing this, but this might be something to be looking for tomorrow, having the confluence of the summer solstice plus the full moon. Maybe we start a new trend after tomorrow, plus the technicals on respecting this basically $64,900 and this gravestone doji that we could be printing. So if we don't get a reaction out of that, I'm gonna start de-risking some and maybe trying to buy some if we get a big down mark like in 2019. And if we don't, I'll be more than happy to just buy the reclaim or buy the impulse up, because I'm starting to get a little bit careful with this setup, having lost the P cycle top indicator lower EMA and also having this bearish retest to it. Just not a great look. And also, it's not great that the American session has not been buying anything. More likely selling. We'll see the numbers a little bit later today, but we probably had some big amount of ETF outflows today. Maybe on the news also that Michael Saylor had been buying up BTC for the past weeks. I think he has an average of 65,000 or something. So he's been buying even more Bitcoin. So yeah, that's your daily on BTC. I'm gonna come back to your daily close, but stop printing strong negative momentum. Just a weak negative momentum bar in the MACD histogram for the time being, and you're about to close on the lowest daily candle close on Bitcoin since May 14. So yeah, just wacky price action. I'm sure a lot of people have left by now on this 100 plus days range, just getting a little bit tiring for a lot of people. I'm gonna fix this range. And sometimes it moves out of my screen. I don't know why, but there you have it. This descending channel, this long-term consolidation that has people losing their minds. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance pretty much flat on the day after we had this bearish engulfing candle yesterday. Just losing the positive momentum on the MACD histogram. And what's interesting is that we might see this hidden bearish divergence play out within the next couple of days or maybe the next couple of weeks. You'll need a little bit. BTCD doesn't move too quick, so it's probably going to take some time for it to develop price action out of this hidden bearish divergence, where you have a higher high, a higher momentum bar here on the MACD histogram, and you have a lower high on price, which means that a lot of BTCD buyers, a lot of Bitcoin dominance buying efforts came in, and it's just resulted on a lower high on price if you don't count this wick just being I don't know, somewhat peaky maybe here on this setup, because it could easily be invalidated with this wick. But I'm gonna go with the body of the candles for this consideration. And also, why I'm doing that, it's because if you if you are actually going to have a play out of this hidden bearish divergence, this is going to turn into a much larger thing up here. This could turn into a potential three falling peaks pattern, a classic distribution pattern, where you had the first peak here in April 12, the second peak in May 18, and now the third peak here at the mid of June. So if we actually have a play out of this hidden bearish divergence, you'll start maybe potentially forming a classic distribution pattern, which could mean that there are currently more sellers than buyers on Bitcoin dominance and could propel an altcoin outperformance within the crypto market. And you also have Ethereum to Bitcoin. You have ETH BTC having somewhat of a bid and maybe trying to put in a continuation out of the higher high that we had on the ETF rumors. So it's kind of confluent to maybe start to look for some downside here. But you have to have in mind that this is a long-term uptrend. It's been trending higher for the past 18 months. So on any given case, the trend is your friend. So yeah, for the time being, the odds are on this asset pushing higher. But if it doesn't, and we see a continuation of the correction, and we see somewhat of a pullback, you start to see a really interesting picture within Bitcoin dominance, having this hidden bearish divergence plus this possible three falling peaks distribution pattern. This one will be the breakout line at 53.69% here. If you have a daily candle close below this, which is the second low here, if you have a daily candle close below that level, it is when the pattern is confirmed, and you have a target of like 40% or so. I'm going to check it exactly so you guys know. So it would be a 5.83% drop from the breakout line. So it will give you even lower. I mean, not 40%. I meant 50%. My bad. So it would be at around 50.55% target measured move, like a technical target out of this distribution pattern if it gets confirmed, which is it's a big if. It's a long way to go from here, but just so if we can have some devious speculation about what could happen on BTCD. And I'm guessing for this to play out, it will mean a continuation to the upside on Bitcoin and not a huge drop. I think if we get a huge drop, this is just going to spike up like crazy and probably going to come see 57% in no time. And this whole distribution pattern gets thrown out of the window if we have that big BTC drop in some time within the next few weeks. So Bitcoin against the SPX, real similar on the USD pair today. Also, just failing to do a bullish engulfing candle. You had a lot of upside today, but it just got sold off within the New York Stock Exchange trading session. Losing the strong negative momentum for the time being on the MACD histogram, but you're below this mid range here out of this channel. So yeah, just not a great look for the bulls just yet on Bitcoin against the SPX. I think for BTC to start a run and start moving again to the upside, it's going to need probably a news-driven catalyst. It's going to need some kind of a new event for it to push higher, in my opinion. So USDT dominance, maybe somewhat of a bullish hammer here, or yeah, almost like a hammer. Fell into engulf yesterday's candle, so kind of flat on that regard. Still below the mid-range here of this potentially a bear flag, and losing the strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram, and currently trading above the strong resistance of 4.88%. It's currently at around, it's almost at the same level here, which is a very real level from history. You'll see how it was regarded as resistance a lot of times in the 2021 cycle, and after you broke it, you just had a huge blow off top, basically a double top to the upside, which created this big up mark from Q2 in 2022. So that's USDT dominance. I wish it was already breaking downwards, but yeah, just have this kind of a bear flagging with higher highs and higher lows kind of structure, and still below the 200 moving average. So it's going to be interesting if we have another attempt at the 200 and see how it's gonna behave, because we lost this level in October basically 22nd of 2023. It's when we lost that EMA, and we haven't had a formal retest to it ever since for about 8 months. So it's going to be interesting to see how price behaves when we currently trade even closer now to this 200 moving average. So stocks had a little bit of a pullback today. Bearish engulfing candle on the S&P. Although we did had all-time highs today, we reached price discovery once again. It's just relentless. Some people relentlessly buying on the SPX. A lot of buying pressure. The first weak positive momentum on the S&P since a long time, since it started on June 6th. Not much to say yet. This could turn into a pullback, but it also cannot. Maybe tomorrow it opens and even pushes higher, and who knows when the bit's gonna cool down. But you also had a bearish engulfing candle on the Nasdaq. And what's different today? I'm gonna have to get really granular here. So you did had a price discovery on the Nasdaq also today, but barely. You barely pushed into price discovery today, into new highs. And then on the SPX, you clearly went for price discovery today. So a little bit more of strength on the daily trading today on the SPX regarding the Nasdaq, which is somewhat unusual. Let's go to Ethereum. So Ethereum's on the thumbnail, not only because of the USD pair, but because of the BTC pair. You're still below the critical level of $3,582, which you'll see is the top from the complacency shoulder formed in April 2022. So there's a very real level here. Also was a big inflection point here. You saw a lot of selling absorption in December 4th of 2021. So critical inflection point here. You also back tested a support on the end of December 2021. So if you want to see $4,000 on Ethereum, you need to flip this level. You need to be trading above it, in my opinion. But it just looks so much better than BTC right now. You had a bullish engulfing candle yesterday. You're not doing much today, but at least you're not invalidating the engulfing. And yeah, losing negative momentum. You've been having weak negative momentum bars for a few days now on the MACD histogram. And look at what this could become, chat. Take a look at this. Does anyone know in the chat what this could turn into on Ethereum against the dollar here? I'm gonna leave it drawn there and gonna wait a few seconds so someone can tell me what is going on here on the MACD and price. If someone points it out, it's gonna really make my day. Gonna give you a clue. You have a lower low, a negative momentum than the low from May 13, and you have a higher low on price. No? Okay. So this is a hidden, possibly a hidden bullish divergence here on the MACD histogram, which would imply a continuation divergence. It would imply that the bull trend is going to continue higher once this negative momentum finishes out. So interesting on Ethereum right now. And you're currently also below 3,519 bucks for the time being, which is also important level here. You see how it became resistance here and support here on May 23rd. So it's like a local level here right now, I think. That's why I had it drawn out. So hopefully you have a close above that. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to DXY just because of it. So DXY had quite a strong day today. A bullish Marubasu candle just engulfed like 3 days of, or 4 day of daily candles here. Strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram is back on the chart. And yeah, you're at around this resistance here, which is an inflection point from 2022. You see how it's been resistance, support, resistance again. So let's hope this just fails again and turns into some more resistance. Because if you start, maybe you take out this high from here, and it's not going to be that concerning. But if you take out the high from October 10, 2023, this could just somewhat, you have an argument of this becoming somewhat of a reaccumulation before trading higher, because you would have a higher high regarding the high from mid-October 2023, and you have like higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. So you could argue that DXY will be on a bull trend on the daily time frame, and that's what you don't want to see on risk on assets. But yeah, just for now, it could be somewhat of a more chop and consolidation, whatever. Just not concerned yet until you take out this high and start to rival the highs from mid-October. Okay, let's move on. I want to look at Ethereum to ETH BTC right now due to the importance of it, because it's on the thumbnail and what Ethereum has been doing, maybe on the speculation of the ETF inflows that it may have once it starts trading. So you also have this hidden bullish divergence almost about to be confirmed on the BTC pair. It actually way more developed here on the BTC pair rather than the USD pair. Yeah, pretty much flat on the day, just on not much price action, but it's kind of somewhat of creeping higher. I like this 200 moving average reclaims. What makes me a little bit hopeful, and on this might start to trend higher again, because you can see how the 200 moving average has just been resisting for a long time now, ever since basically the merge here, that you went above it, then you just kind of lost it, and then you just started, I don't know, how chopping above it, then you lost it, and then you've been regarding it as resistance for a long time. You started deviating above it on early this year, and now the 200 moving average is just trading flat, and basically you had this reclaim. I mean, you lost it, and now you reclaimed it again, and you're trading above it, really close to a bullish level for ETH BTC, which is the 5,620 sats basically here, which is a very real level from the 2017 cycle. You'll see how it worked as resistance here, basically a little bit support here, then resistance, support, support until it failed and it puked to the downside, support once again, support, and now it's trying to have a reclaim of support once again. So really interesting developments on ETH BTC. I just wish that Bitcoin looked more strong on this levels. This would be a really risk on index for everything, for altcoins, for Ethereum beta. We're gonna look at some Ethereum beta in a few minutes, but I just wished it wasn't different kind of circumstances regarding BTC and regarding how the total crypto market cap chart are looking right now. But interesting, just have that on the back of your mind. Okay, let's look at Solana. So Sol USD, just lowest daily candle close since May 30 for now. Just trading really close to the 200 moving average, printing strong negative momentum still. Just really bad price action on Solana for the past couple of weeks. You'll see that as soon as we lost 169, $170, just been down only. You reclaim this descending channel. You lost the mid range, back tested as resistance once against today, and now you are just trading above the 200 moving average. So you have to pray that it holds, because this hasn't been touched, or maybe, I mean, it was touched like 3 days ago, but hasn't been tested as support since October 13 of last year. So it would be really nice for it to form a bottom at around the 200. Maybe if you want to, you can lose it for a couple daily candles and then reclaim it, back test it as support, and start trading higher again, just like Ethereum to BTC is doing right now. But pretty weak price action on Solana USD. If we go to Sol BTC, you'll see it's even worse. Once you had this bearish backtest to a 200 moving average, you just kept going with the down mark, working on your lowest daily candle close since March 6th. My God. So it's working on 2 month lows on Sol BTC, just continuing to print strong negative momentum on the MACD histogram, but coming really close to this support level here. You'll see very real level from 2022 here, big inflection point, just gave you a big bounce back and then a big resistance from the previous cycle, and it also worked as support and resistance on this cycle. So you just pray that the 20,157 or whatever sats level holds here, or otherwise this is gonna start looking into a head and shoulders pattern. These kind of patterns don't usually play out on bull markets, I'll tell you that. If you show me this chart on a bull market, then I'm gonna be okay. Maybe it's probably gonna fail. It's gonna come to the neckline and then just get a bit into new highs or whatever, or maybe just fail, have a false breakdown and then just pump into oblivion. So how usually this things goes on a bull market. But if this fails here, it's just gonna look like we're on a short-term to mid-term bear market. A reaccumulation phase is going to be in front of us, and you'll need a long time before getting to this kind of levels on Sol BTC, and you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, what was this whole distribution that it was in front of my face and I didn't see it? Well, I'm showing to you right now, right there on Sol BTC. If you don't have somewhat of a reaction at around here, it's gonna start looking really bad because you lost the 200 moving average and you back tested as resistance. You need to reclaim that moving average. That's what I'm telling you, or it can get ugly. So let's go to one of my favorite charts for the past month. real indicative of what's been going on Solana. It's been the Sol to Ethereum chart, the Sol ETH chart. So working on your lowest daily candle close on Sol against Ethereum since March 12th, building negative momentum once again, strong negative momentum, and just getting no bid, man. Ever since the Ethereum news came out on, I mean, the ETF news came out on Ethereum, Solana has not been getting quite the bid that was getting before. It's just being like a basically a rug pull of liquidity on the Solana ecosystem. A lot of Sol coins have been down only. The strongest Sol memes like WIF and Bonk or whatever, like even some on-chain coins that shouldn't be getting this hurt, I've just been getting no bid whatsoever, just selling. And you're starting to, believe it or not, Chad, you're starting to get really close to this automatic response level here and this sign of weakness level. And once you lose this level, it's gonna be how traders like to say lights out for Sol ETH, because week of distribution type 2 is gonna be confirmed, and you'll enter phase E, which is the downmark phase on this asset against Ethereum. So that could mean just two things. Although this is not confirmed yet, I'm not calling for the death of Solana or whatever. I wish it would thrive, and we would see a lot of opportunities within the Solana ecosystem. But what the chart's saying right now, if we have a confirmation of distribution, which is way closer now than what it looked here when we saw this on May 21st, almost a month ago, we've been basically tracking this chart, and it's been nothing but just selling. If you get this confirmation down here, you'll enter phase E, which is the impulse phase, which is basically the time frame on when Sol ETH is going to lose the most amount of value of market share against Ethereum. And that's just going to imply two things. Either that if we're pumping or correcting, Ethereum's going to pump harder or regain more value than Solana. And God forbid, if we're dumping, it's just going to mean that Solana's going to dump way higher than Ethereum, and it's going to give back more value than Ethereum if we get that confirmation of distribution. I just hope this is just gets thrown out of the window, and this was just, I don't know, some ugly looking chart, and we put in another low here and start rolling back again. I just wish we could get that, but it's not looking like that for the time being. You need to put in somewhat of a stronger reaction, otherwise it's just going to turn into another last point of supply, just like it happened on June 6th. And I'll be coming back to this chart, and I'll be like, chat, we looked at this on May 21st up here. Just basically, I don't know exactly the point, but at least 20% above of where we are right now. I came into the live stream with all of this already drawn out. Every level I explained the preliminary supply here, the buying climax, the automatic response, the secondary test, the sign of weakness, the upthrust, and the first point of last point of supply. Now we already had the second one. So buyers need to step in on Sol ETH, or distribution is going to get confirmed, and it's basically what you don't want to if you want to see Solana backs thrive. Okay. What else might be interesting? Since we're talking about Solana, let's go to WIF. Somewhat of a blue chip meme on Solana, if you could say so. Working on your lowest daily candle close since March 7. My God. Printing strong negative momentum once again. Just on a basically no man's land here. No level it could basically have. Maybe here you have a daily candle close, but I don't know if that's strong enough for it to. Maybe at around here. Yeah, maybe here. This is worth entertaining. You could have somewhat of a reaction on the technical level here on $1.84, but just a pretty weak performance on these memes. So Yeah, I have no doubt though, if we continue on the bull market and you see some bid coming in on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, um, time eventually is gonna heal this meme, and you're probably gonna reaccumulate and even push harder into the upside. I think that's gonna be somewhat of a DeFi summer play out. It's gonna be a meme fall, um, basically replay if you continue to see strength on the market again. Maybe it could come from lower. I don't know. You know how crypto is a driven, is a momentum driven asset class, and now momentum's on the sellers on this asset. So buyers need to step in. Just a high volume selling too. It's not like this is low volume, you know. So a lot of volume on this sell off. It's not what you want to see. Maybe it's a trend reversal, you know. I mean, it's definitely a trend reverse from this whole buying here. But yeah, I wouldn't step in on this trying to call a bottom. Okay, chat. So daily candle just closed. We're gonna go see Bitcoin, what it did on the daily candle close, what kind of formation. Yikes! So we didn't get that dragonfly doji. Just had like a, damn it, just like a nothing burger candle. Somewhat of a bear hammer here, right above support. Yeah, you just breached support there. Yeah, we're not able to hold 64,872 bucks. So yeah, just really bad right now for BTC. So we just have tomorrow to see if we get somewhat of the bid or a trend reversal on like kind of a, I don't know, solstice thing. But if I were to go with just TA, it looks awful. Some people are going to tell you that blah blah blah, high time frame, blah blah blah, monthly looks good still, everything looks good still. No, it doesn't. If you have a daily time frame like this, you just lost the P cycle top indicator EMA, possibly with a bearish back test. Not a great look. Not saying it's over, but it's not a great look on how maybe people would like you to believe. Look at, on one point today we were up more than 2%, 2.3%, and we gave everything back within the stock exchange trading session. Just New Yorkers woke up and they just pressed sell. That's what happened. So we just need the Asian chats to come up and save this chart, or you'll see lower prices on BTC. So just not news for the time being, you know. It's just been coming down for around almost 2 weeks straight. For 2 weeks, just no bid since we topped here on June 6th. Just relentless selling on BTC. So maybe the new moon cycle after this new moon, maybe tomorrow's strawberry moon save us. If we have a pump tomorrow, I'm gonna start using that indicator way more. Trust me on that. But TA doesn't seem to call it for now. But yeah, you're just at around support. You're on a 50% Fibonacci retracement from this move here. .5 retracement. So not everything's lost. Okay. Let's look at a couple more. Let's look at Pepe. It's been one of the strongest performers the past months. So we had a bullish engulfing candle on Wednesday, and we just had a lot of selling today. We didn't have a bearish engulfing candle, so that bullish engulfing candle from Wednesday is still valid. Losing negative momentum on the MACD histogram. So yeah, it's just gonna rely on what BTC does, man. And we've been calling for the 618 retracement for a while here, so we're not quite yet there. You see the confluence here at this level. There's a resistance or basically neckline from this inverse head and shoulders that formed in April, has confluence with the 618 retracement. So golden pocket boys, this could be some area to bid. If we get there on Pepe, you might get a reaction from that level. On Pepe BTC, looking quite similar. So you had that bullish engulfing candle yesterday, and it didn't get invalidated today, so that's nice. Losing negative momentum on the MACD histogram, but still far away from that 618 retracement on Fibonacci. Yeah, just at around this resistance. On the BTC pair, the 618 is a little bit lower than the neckline, whereas on the USD pair is a little bit higher. So take it with a grain of salt. Just like an area of interest if we get there on a few more weeks. I would much rather get there quick rather than a bleed out. I think bleed outs are more bearish than a quick dip, in my opinion. Okay, let's look at Bonk. So Bonk looking stronger than WIF, but weaker than Pepe. So you had a bullish engulfing candle today on Bonk. Hype in the chat for that. My God. Okay, I have to turn off this indicator. Okay. So bullish engulfing candle on Bonk. Losing negative momentum on the MACD histogram. Just bearish confluence on the histogram. No kind of divergence whatsoever. Above this right shoulder, so it's not what you want to see. It's not like Bonk is building any kind of bullish structure here, but just looking at it for fun. Did not engulf on the BTC pair because the previous candle was green. Losing negative momentum. And starting the day with a sell-off, I think. At least altcoins, because BTC is flat still. Some altcoins are down 0.5%. WIF is almost down 1% on just 7 minutes of the trading candle. Okay. Yeah, we're going to look at some Ethereum beta, which has been trading really nicely past few days on that Ethereum strength. So this is ENS. Yesterday we had the highest daily price action on ENS since June 2nd. Pretty much flat on the daily candle close, still printing positive momentum on the MACD histogram. And you're currently on a strong resistance here. So if you flip this could turn into maybe a trading setup between $27.75 and $26.05. It's where it's at, in my opinion. You'll see here. So we don't have any price history to the left, but you'll see how this was support, and once you lost it, down mark became resistance on May 2nd, 2022, on January 2024, March 2024, and May 2024, and now you're just re-entering this zone. And if you're able to sustain price action above the $28 level with daily candle closes, I think this is gonna fly, because you've been trading between this range since a long time, my friends. let's see, for 888 days. So somewhat of 2 years and a half, you've been trading below this level. So I think good things might come up once you break out of it. I think if you break the level, then $40 just basically is gonna come real quick, because this is pretty much thin air. This is like no no resistance level here. It just came down straight on a straight line. I'm guessing if you break out this level, you're gonna go up on a straight line. Maybe you have some more noise within the 48 to $39 level. It's probably gonna take a little bit harder to break out of. But if you get that breakout, at least that level is gonna get propelled up real quick. RPL was doing some things too. I just it sucks that you lost the 200 moving average. You just invalidated the engulfing candle from Tuesday, so and losing positive momentum on the MACD histogram. You do have some bearish confluence. I mean, some bullish confluence on the MACD histogram because you had a higher high on price, also higher high on momentum and higher high on price, and you're above this inflection point, which was basically the TGE starting price, and you see how it's been regarded as both as support and resistance a lot of times in the past. So if it holds and maybe you get a reclaim of the 200 moving average, it could turn into somewhat of an interesting setup on RPL. Okay, I'm gonna look at ENS against Ethereum too. So ENS against Ethereum, pretty much flat too. Didn't quite have much of a movement. Still been building positive momentum on the MACD histogram, and you're not above quite a strong level as in the USD pair. This would be the $27 level here on the USD pair. This is the equivalent on the Ethereum pair. So it looks better on the USD pair, but still looks good. You flipped the 200 moving average and even back tested it as support on June 18, and you're catching follow through. So yeah, no way to have an active setup just yet, in my opinion, but it looks like it's bull trending. Maybe you had somewhat of a inverse head and shoulders here. This would be the right shoulder from March, the big head from May, and the right shoulder from early June. Pendle's been doing things too. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so Pendle closed green on the day, just had a lot of absorption, like most of the coins did today. Still printing, starting to print strong negative momentum just yet. Today was the first daily candle close of daily positive momentum since June's 1st. At around the 5.8 level here, you don't have much data to the left because this candle, I mean this coin was launched on Binance on July of last year. So maybe you're kind of consolidating here between this large range. This is maybe what you would like to see on BTC, being honest with you. So you have this big impulse, down mark, then a retest of this high, and find support. Let's see if we have a 0.5 retracement here. So you went deeper. You went almost into a 786 retracement, and then you started recovering here. So what I'm saying is that you would like to see somewhat of a structure here develop on BTC before getting optimistic again. Because right now it doesn't look like you could have so much optimism on the USD pair. Okay, Lido was also doing things, but it closed yesterday's candle. Could be somewhat of a dead hanging man. Single pattern. It's not that clean. Could be just somewhat of a nothing burger, but printing strong negative momentum again. Maybe you get a little bit more price action to the right before going to test that breakout line. This looks like somewhat of a three rising valleys potential pattern. Plus, you have this big hidden bullish divergence on the MACD histogram that was confirmed on June 14 at around then when you lost this whole negative momentum. So Lido really interesting. I think it's going to be a really good performer if you see Ethereum do its thing. On Lido against Ethereum, just you don't have any kind of divergence on the histogram, just pretty much confluence. But you're above this level here, which is very real here from history. You see how it worked as support, then broke below it. And then when you had this reclaim and back test, you just launched out of. So maybe you have a somewhat of a triple bottom here. We'll see. A lot of volume came in on Lido too. It's not like it's a low volume move here, so maybe this is somewhat of a bottom. We'll see. Still greatly below the 200 moving average. So you will want to see an asset that's above the 200 moving average, like ENS here against Ethereum. RPL, not so much. Pendle against Ethereum is way above the 200 moving average. So I think the coins that are above the 200 moving average will be a better performer against Ethereum. OXO still below the 200 moving average also, but you have this wicked bullish divergence on the MACD starting to play out, printing strong negative positive momentum. Just had a bullish engulfing candle on Tuesday and had a confirmation on Wednesday. So just good price action on OXO. And you're on a bull trend too, just higher highs and higher lows. So this is like an Ethereum, an ETH token yielder powered by AI. I don't know exactly how it works, but you apparently deposit or stake Ethereum, and you receive somewhat of a yield coming out of. So it may have some good Ponzonomics. So yeah, starting the new day immediately with a little bit of selling. This is not indicative of anything yet, but trading below that big support. Just yeah, just not a great look on BTC. Okay, guys, I've been going on for about an hour. I think it's time to call it. Thanks to everyone to tune in and everyone who leaves me comments on my videos. Appreciate them. I really like also that you give me likes and share my videos. Remember to turn on notifications so you know when I'm going live. But I'll see you anyway. I'll go live tomorrow a little bit early probably because I have some stuff to do. So I'm gonna go live at around 6 p.m. start Eastern time for tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. I'll give you guys my update on this bear setup that's currently playing out on BTC. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow.